Hey everyone, Dr. Dale here with this episode of The Aim is Truth. So I want to give you a comparison. And I want to put into perspective how the governments around the world are punishing drug companies or the lack thereof. See, recently GlaxoSmithKline was found guilty of bribing doctors, hospitals, and government officials. They used $488.8 million in bribes. Luxury travel, prostitutes. They bought doctors prostitutes. Free food, all kinds of stuff. It's sad what people do for free food. But anyways, let's put this into perspective. Because in the news, you'll read that they were fined $488 million. So they bribed with $488.8 million. They were fined $488.8 million. Putting in perspective, if we parented the same way drug companies are punished by government officials for bribing doctors, which resulted in thousands of people losing their lives. Thousands of people were injured or killed in China because of overprescribing of drugs, because of doctors getting prostitutes or money in kickbacks due to the sale of those drugs. So if we parented the same way, that would be me, basically, let's say this. Imaginary story here. My son Amos comes home and I find out that he bribed another student or another kid into stealing a box of Snickers. So he takes, out of the profits, he takes 2 of those Snickers and gives it to this other kid that stole the entire box for him. So the other kid is basically representing the doctors who were bribed into stealing from people, insurance companies, because they prescribe drugs for illegitimate uses or harmful uses. They stole. So my son did that. He's really smart. And in reality, most people are probably thinking already that, you know what, Dale, this wouldn't happen. Your son would probably steal blueberries before he'd ever steal a box of Snickers. So you understand this didn't really happen. But anyways, my son does this. He gets a box of Snickers from this kid, and he gives 2 Snickers to this other kid. I find out, and I go to my son. I go, Amos, that's a really bad thing to do. Lying and bribing is really bad, and especially stealing, and especially if stealing results in the harm or death of other people. And I'm like, Amos, a box of Snickers, yeah, you stole it. So what I'm going to do to punish you, I'm going to take 2 of those Snickers away because I want to make sure that the amount you bribe this other kid with is the same amount I punish you with. Would that be a good way to parent? I don't think so. See, we're not teaching drug companies anything by fining them a minuscule amount compared to the profits they made. They made billions of dollars in profits on the harm and extortion and exploitation of the sick and suffering people in that country. And they were only fined the same amount that they used to bribe. You know, that's basically like they bribed the government again and said, here, government, here's $488 million. You know, what I want to ask is, why didn't any government official who got a bribe, they should go to jail? Why didn't any doctor or hospital official who took a bribe, they should go to jail? And every single drug company representative who was the head of this bribery scheme, they should go to jail. No one went to jail. No one was really punished. Shoot, the guy who was the head of the bribery network in China was just deported. They said, go home with all the profits you made, and, you know, you can't come back for 4 years. It was deportation or jail time. You know what he did? He said, the guy probably was like, you know what? I'll take a 4-year vacation with the profits I've already made on the bribes that, in the fraud and the lies that we've committed in this country. You know, it's time, because governments aren't holding people responsible, or the drug companies responsible, or people responsible for the crimes that they commit. It's time that we as people, as consumers, hold the drug companies responsible for that. That's why I have determined that I will never take a drug or vaccine or anything that is made by a fraudulent and lying drug company in which they've all done the same thing. And they do it over and over and over again. Therefore, I do not trust drug companies. I don't trust them with my son's health. I don't trust them with my wife's health, my family's health. And I'll do anything I can to protect my family from the drug companies and those liars. And I challenge you out there. You know, some of you may be on medications right now and you're like, Dr. Dale, I don't know if I can do that. I can't do without my medications right now. The reality is, what I want you to do is seek out somebody that can help you restore your health. Get your health back on track. And when you get healthy, there is no need for vaccines. There is no need for drugs. And that's the Aim is Truth.